What up, y'all? It's your boy Hawk. Today we're going to be doing a Q&A. First Q&A we've done on the channel, but I said let's do one. I'm pulling all the questions from the Discord. If you want to get in on the next Q&A, you got to join the Discord. Link will be in the description below. It's called the Let's Talk Hoops Discord. Obviously, you know what I mean? You got to support the brand. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. The first question is a two-parter. Two different questions, but basically about the same guy. Dubs Forever says, Boogie Cousins is still a starting caliber center. And then Young Daddy Weary says, Boogie Cousin could have brought the Kings to the finals if he didn't run his mouth. I ain't gonna hold you, Young Daddy. You sound like a hater, but I'm gonna let you slide. I just don't like the phrase of didn't run his mouth. I feel like DeMarcus Cousins played in the era before we had a whole lot of player control, like players running the organizations, player empowerment, things like that. When he was still with the Kings, we were starting to get to that place, but we weren't there all the way yet, and especially not with the Kings organization. I'm not putting the Kings failures all on DeMarcus Cousins. Could he have been a better guy for the organization? Potentially, maybe, but I'm not even really putting it on him. He was a guy who ran his mouth a lot, yes, but his production on the court backed it up. During his peak years on Sacramento, DeMarcus put up 26 points, 11 rebounds, a block and a half, almost 4 assists, a steal and a half, 45% from the field, 34% from three. And keep in mind, this is back in 2014, 2015, 2016. Before we got bigs like Embiid and Joel and Cat shooting the ball as well as they do now, DeMarcus was a good stretch 5 big who also had great post game. That Kings organization just failed to build a winning team around him. I'm not putting that all on him. And then the second part of that from Dubs Forever saying Boogie is still a starting caliber center today. We saw him play well for the Nuggets against the Warriors. I want to say in one of those games he had 19 points, which I found out was a playoff career high for him, which is crazy. But he hasn't been in a ton of playoff games throughout his career. He's only been to the playoffs with the Warriors, the Clippers, and the Nuggets. And before this Nuggets series, he's only ever played 15 games in the playoffs. Do I think DeMarcus Cousins has the talent to start in today's NBA? Maybe. There's sometimes I've seen flashes, especially once again during this past Warriors series, where it looked like, okay, I see the talent still there. I see the motor still there. But I don't necessarily think there's an opportunity for him to start in the league today. He's 31 years old, has an injury history. I don't know if I want DeMarcus starting for my team, but I'd love to have him coming off the bench. Next up, we got something from Playmaker Central. Giannis is a top 25 player of all time. I don't think that's crazy. In the words of OG, that's not ridiculous. That's not ridiculous to say that. Giannis can retire right now and he's automatically a first ballot Hall of Famer. Just to run down his resume: NBA champion, finals MVP, 2-time MVP, NBA Defensive Player of the Year, 6-time All-Star, 5-time All-NBA, 4-time All-Defensive, and he has the Defensive Player of the Year. Now, in terms of calling him one of the top 25 right now, I can see some people having some hesitations because he's so young, because he has still some time to play in his career. And when you get into saying top 25 all time, people bring in longevity, stuff like that. I haven't made an all-time list lately, but I wouldn't be surprised if Giannis ended up in my top 25. Next up from Tixerdy, I guess that's how you say that. James Wiseman is not a suitable player if the Warriors want to win now. They should get someone like Miles Turner. So it's crazy because I've been seeing this a lot lately, not just from him, but from a lot of people. And I don't know if it's Warriors fans that's ready to get rid of James Wiseman. I don't know if it's Indiana fans that's ready to get rid of Miles Turner, but I don't see this happening at all. I started with saying I had higher hopes for Miles Turner. I thought he was going to be a superstar, or at least an all-star in the league on a regular basis. I know he's been dealing with injuries the last couple of years, but the production just really isn't there for me. Defensively, I'm a big fan of Miles. We know he continuously leads the league in blocks, but availability is a big thing. Yeah, he's only 25, but Wiseman's only in his rookie year. If I'm the Warriors, I'm willing to give Wiseman some more time, because the way it's worded is talking about them winning now. And to be honest with you, if Miles Turner is healthy and James Wiseman is healthy, their numbers kind of sort of look the same. And you got more development time with James Wiseman. I'd keep Wiseman if I'm the Warriors. But if they really want Miles, he's a free agent after next year. They can go after him then. Brody Knows Pool as him says, Luka will be an average player within the next 5 years. He would be the 12th man on the all-star teams or not make them at all. Trey, LaMelo, and the other guards will be higher all time. I think that's nasty. And I don't even like to say stuff like that, but that's nasty. And this is coming from a guy who wasn't really high on Luka coming into the season, but I've seen the play. There's no way I'm looking at him and saying he's just going to be a low all-star and maybe not even make the all-star team in the next 5 years. He's 22 years old, likely going to make an all-NBA team, maybe even first or second team this season. He literally only can go up from here, barring some sort of catastrophic injury. No disrespect to Trae Young or LaMelo Ball. Trae Young, I like him a lot as well, but you can compare them to Luka. You can say they're maybe all on the same level. I don't know if I'm ready to put LaMelo there, honestly, but you can say Trae and Luka are on the same level, but I'm not going to say one is way above the other in either direction, to be honest with you. Ninja Dill says 2 things. MJ is better than LeBron still, but soon LeBron will be better than MJ. If that's your take, that's your take. MJ's my GOAT, but it is what it is. Then he also says the Sixers and the Nets lose the trade between them, but the Nets won to trade more. Are you saying the trade's a lose-lose and the Nets maybe lost less? I don't know if I necessarily go that far. This season in particular, I think both teams lost the trade. The Nets were hoping Ben Simmons was going to play. He didn't. The Sixers probably hoping James Harden was going to be more than he's been lately. We'll still see what happens in the rest of the playoffs, but it's not looking great. I think it was a solid trade on both sides. Sixers had a player who didn't want to play for him. The Nets had a player who didn't want to play for him. They made a trade. It is what it is. But that's all the questions I got for now. Like I said, if you want to be a part of the next Q&A, or if you want to drop your hot take, have me react to it, join the Discord. We got a channel in it just for questions and hot takes. I'll see you in the next one. I'm out. Peace.